First Boris Johnson, now Mario Draghi. The liberal globalist order really is collapsing right before our very eyes. We're going to take a look at the latest from Rome. We're going to see how Italy's nationalist populist right are poised to take power. And make sure to stick with me to the very end of this video when I'll reveal how this latest implosion in Italy is but the latest headache for the European Union and their failed regime. You are not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you. As always, I am your Patriot Professor here on the road, still to help you think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button.
Just a quick but really huge shout out from our good friends over at Goldco. You guys are ringing their phones off the hook. If you don't know them, make sure to click on that link below and give them a visit. Goldco is a Patriot Gold company that specializes in helping you find how you can protect your retirement with the trustworthiness of gold and silver. And they are just so awesome. They are going to give you up to $10,000 in free silver when you open up an account. They're one of us, gang. They're amazing, but it is a limited time offer. So do not wait. Click on that link below or go to turleytalkslikesgold.com and let's keep those phones ringing off the hook.
And we are going to dive right in here, gang. It looks like Italy's government has officially collapsed. No, it's not quite Sri Lanka, but it is yet another sign that the globalist world is beginning to truly unravel right before our very eyes. Italy's government, like Sri Lanka, is imploding under the weight of inflation, under the weight of massive debt. And we talked about this in our video on Sri Lanka a couple of days ago. Many pundits believe that Sri Lanka was the first domino to fall among debtor nations, where massive spikes in inflation along with runs on debt are causing more and more nations to go completely bankrupt. Now, of course, Italy's not there quite yet, but it doesn't need to be if the gas crunch and inflation are enough to cause substantial political instability, as we seem to be seeing right now. Let's look at where we are. So just a bit of context here for you. Several months back, Italy's leftist government collapsed. And in order to avoid another snap election that was virtually guaranteed to result in a huge victory for the nationalist right, led back then by Matteo Salvini of the Lega Party, as well as the Brothers of Italy, led by Giorgia Meloni, instead of allowing the people of Italy to choose their own government, the powers that be installed what's called a technocratic government, which is a government where the leaders are appointed in place of a normally functioning governed coalition, right? So when you have multiple parties, like you have generally in parliamentary systems, you gotta form coalitions. No one party gets a majority. So you form a coalition with other parties, often parties that are, quite different from one another. Like when the right-wing populist Lega Party formed a coalition with the left-wing populist Five Star a few years back. And if and when that coalition unravels because of irreconcilable differences, and if another coalition can't be formed, then the president of Italy, who plays more of a symbolic ceremonial role, helps to form what's called a technocratic government. It's, when all said and done, it's basically a caretaker government, right? An interim government until the next elections are held. But in Italy, this government was formed, this technocratic government was formed, especially with the backing of the bureaucrats in Brussels, to deliberately prevent free elections, which again are virtually guaranteed to put the nationalist populist right into power. And so the technocratic government, led by the ultra-globalist Mario Draghi, has been doing everything they possibly can to stay together so as to ensure that Italy can go as long as it can without elections. But alas, as of hours ago, Draghi's coalition imploded. The Five Star Party is now officially boycotting the coalition. They did so today. And without Five Star, they simply don't have enough seats in the Italian parliament. You need at least 40% of the seats for a governing coalition in Italy. And so Draghi, who was the prime minister, has had no choice but to resign over this coalition crisis. Now, as of the making of this video, it's being reported that the president of Italy, Sergio Mattarella, has rejected that resignation in order for government to be dissolved, as it were, the president, again, who's largely playing a ceremonial role here, has to approve of the dissolution. And so in rejecting the resignation, what Italy's president is basically doing is he's telling Draghi, go back to the drawing board and form a new coalition, obviously without Five Star. However, that's going to be a lot easier said than done, because the right-wing Lega party, led by Matteo Salvini, has already openly stated that they are not going to support another technocratic government. And so they may have no choice but to call for snap elections in the coming weeks. So what that would mean is the inevitable rise of a thoroughly right-wing, nationalist, populist coalition government in Italy. Now, if you don't know, the queen of the right in Italy is a woman by the name of Giorgia Meloni. She is the leader of the populist right party known as the Brothers of Italy. She's being joined by the leader of the nationalist populist Lega party, Matteo Salvini. The bullies in Brussels have been doing everything they possibly can to destroy Salvini over the last couple of years. He's been the leader of the right-wing movement in Italy, and he has been utterly pummeled by the leftist forces in Italy and in Europe. And so in the process, Giorgia Meloni has been rising up to take his place. So you have two major patriot parties in Italy right now. And they'll be joined by Silvio Berlusconi's Forza Italia, which is a center-right party. And that's going to be your governing coalition that we should be seeing in the very near future, depending, of course, on what happens with this technocratic government. But if that happens, if Italy finally gets its nationalist populist government that we've been following and hoping for years now, since I was with both Salvini and Meloni in Verona back in 2019 at the World Congress of Families, saw both of them speak there. The bullies in Brussels now have to face a nationalist populist Italy that's only going to add to their already substantial headache. I mean, keep in mind what we've been seeing in Europe of late. In the Netherlands, farmers are rising up all over the nation to push back against their liberal government's insane mandates demanding they cut 30% of their production. In France, Emmanuel Macron has just lost his parliamentary majority as part of a stunning surge for the National Rally Party, their Patriot Party. In the UK, Boris Johnson's administration has imploded. In Germany, their economy is experiencing unprecedented collapse. I mean, we could go on and on. And then, of course, the cherry on top, across the pond, the utter implosion of the Biden administration. Biden is just embarrassing himself everywhere he goes at this point. The liberal world order is literally unraveling right before our very eyes. And it doesn't seem like there's anything the dolts in DC or the bullies in Brussels can do to stop it. So we'll obviously keep our eyes on how things develop here, but there is no question that no matter what happens, the world truly is changing. As frustrating as things can be, have faith. Their world is collapsing. A new conservative age is just beginning. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on Liz Cheney falling apart as her primary disaster looms. Oh, it's delicious. You're going to love it. So make sure to click on that link, and I will see you over there. God bless.